I think it's 10:30, so let's get started here. Okay. Well, good morning, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. We do appreciate your attendance, and for the viewers, thank you for tuning in. For introductions, on my left is Commissioner Deb Shore and Commissioner Todd Wilchins. On my right is Commissioner Bill Avery and Vice Chair Commissioner Larry Hudkins, and we have three brand new commissioners.
Junior commissioners.
Junior commissioners, exactly right, yes. And these are the grandchildren of Commissioner Hudkins and Senator Hudkins. And so we have Grant, let me see, Grant Oleander, yes. And you are from Madison, Mississippi. Yes. So welcome to Nebraska. And we have Lucas, yes, and Anna Grace Christensen, and they are from Malcolm. And they have the distinction of having been born in Denmark. Mm-hmm. So we are so glad to have you here, and we hope that you find this very interesting. Okay?
Not likely. Hopefully they have something for a report if they have to write up something, why they'll have an experience to write up about.
You bet. Oh, you don't want to give any ideas to teachers, huh? Okay, so will you all join me now in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And thank you so much. And now, Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda, please?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, June 16, 2015.
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through June 23rd, 2015.
Move approval of claims.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the claims. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is our special presentations. Recognition of Josiah Johnson for receiving a 2015 NACO College Scholarship. Larry Dix, NACO Executive Director, and Rob Ochman, Chief Deputy Lancaster County Assessor, Register of Deeds.
Well, good morning, everyone. Let me just give you just a real brief background of the NACO Scholarship Program. We started this in 1999. At that point in time, NACO offered $500 scholarships. I think we offered 6 that first year, and then since 2004, we've offered 12 $1,000 scholarships to children of Nebraska county officials, either elected or county employees across the state. And over the years, actually over the last 3 years, over the last 4 years, we've had 3 recipients come from Lancaster County. In the history of it, I think we've had 4 or 5 that have come from Lancaster County. So with that, it's my honor to offer Josiah Nathaniel Johnson a scholarship on behalf of the Nebraska Association of County Officials.
I'm going to introduce Josiah's dad and grandfather, Bruce Johnson, Jeff Johnson, who is the ag appraiser for our office, and then Barb Johnson. I wanted to call you the wrong name. Is married to Bruce, and we're all very proud of the whole family, and he has a lot of people that he's
coming down from that we know where he gets his talent.
Good. Would you like to say a few words?
I would. Talent is maybe a strong word, but I want to thank the Nebraska Association of County Officials. It means a lot applying for a lot of these scholarships, and a lot of them are very competitive, and just having something come back and having that support, that means so much more than even the funding. But I just want to thank everyone. And
Before you step away from the mic, tell us a little bit about your plans for college and career.
yes, I would love to, actually. I'm going to go to UNL and pursue a degree in biological systems engineering. And I'm looking at emphasizing in kind of an environmental engineering route. There's a lot of flexibility with that degree, and I'm keeping that in mind, but I kind of want to focus on issues of water scarcity in places that are struggling with that. So
Smart.
that is what interests me now, but there's a lot more out there. But thank you again.
You bet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so
congratulations
much.
and best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry, for being here as well.
And congratulations for having such a son and grandson.
Next is recognition of Jim Chada, Lancaster County Veteran Service Committee member, Jerry Chalupa, Veteran Service Officer.
Looks like I get to do this by myself.
I think you do, Jim.
Very retired, as you know, or is retiring, as you know, and maybe that has something to do with it.
Well,
But let me speak a little bit, if you don't mind, since he's not here to talk.
yeah.
I don't know if you any had the opportunity
If you
to...
could introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Jim Chada, 2000 West Arabian Road, Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm an attorney here in Lincoln, went to law school here. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the music festival that we had last weekend at the VA. Hopefully some of you got to go, because it was a wonderful event. The Army Band is always the best part of it, but it was really good. Then I'm a member of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and we're having an event on August 8th, which is at the Deer Springs Winery, sort of out a little bit north and east of town, 4 o'clock on, and hopefully some of you can attend. If you need tickets, I'll buy your tickets. That'd be fine. Secondly, you all don't know that I'm a Vietnam veteran. Maybe most of you do, but I was in Vietnam back in '69 and '70. I also serve on the Governor's Veterans Advisory Commission. I also am the chairman of the Nebraska Veterans Home Board. I also work with Joe Kelly on the Veterans Diversion Program, which I really appreciate you all supporting. That's a very important program. Joe Kelly and Kim Etherton do a great job of overseeing that program. But at the same time, I would like to get your support for veterans courts in Nebraska, because that's a very big deal. We're one of the 4 states in the country that doesn't have a veterans court system. Really? Part of the problem is the funding issue, because the state doesn't want to fund it. So does the county get to fund it? That's part of the issue. Although I don't think it's going to cost much, because we already have drug courts. And because we have drug courts, those same judges could sit as a veterans court. I've been to the national convention for a couple of times in the past couple of years about veterans courts, and at the same time they have the drug court system, they all are taught at the same time with some of the same classes. So our 2 judges here who are in district court, who are drug court judges, could easily handle that program as well. I know the governor is in favor of it, Senator Ashford's in favor of it. Hopefully we get a lot of people in favor of it and we get it going. Then I want to just thank you for selecting Gary 20 years ago. I guess to some degree I had something to do with that, because I was on that selection committee too, but he's been an excellent person for that job. His office runs really well, and I believe that Rick and Elgin are going to do an excellent job running it in the future. And I know that Nita's retiring at the end of this month, so there'll probably be a party for her in the next week or 2. Anyway, that's all I've got. I wanted to thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate you selecting me to be on. I've been on this for a long time, and I love it. Thank you.
Larry?
Well, Jim, we've really appreciated your dedication to the Veterans Service Committee. And then a lot of us on PBS have seen the TV show that you and several other veterans are interviewed and tell, what you went through and why it is such a trauma when you come back, and why we need to maybe do something a little extra to help say thank you to these people and give them a leg up. What can the county board do to promote these efforts for Veterans Court?
Well, as long as you're on our side, Mr. Kelly and Kim Etherton are very in support of this as well. And as long as we have your support, I think we can move ahead with sort of having some meetings and figuring out how to make it work. And so I assume that at least you're on my side, and I think most of you should be and are, if not. And if not, I can convince you, because it's a very, very good program.
Well, I would think that at an appropriate time when you think it might be most advantageous, if you would prepare a resolution for our consideration, I think we'd certainly look at it in a favorable light.
Appreciate that very much. Yes.
Okay, well, Jim, I just personally wanted to say, too, as a retired general officer, and on behalf of a grateful nation, I want to thank you for your past service, and then also for everything that you are doing for our veterans. That means so much to them. And, I can speak so much for the Vietnam vets as well, because I'm from that era myself, but also for those that are coming back from all the other conflicts that we've had.
They really need a lot of help.
They need a lot of help.
The more we can give them, the better off we are.
Yeah, and the situations that we have with the out of Iraq and Afghanistan, some of those other places, it's really serious.
And we see them continue to suffer. The Vietnam vets, there are many that are still having problems.
Yeah. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Could we go ahead and do?
Would you like to take 4A up at this point?
Oh, yes, 5A.
Jim?
We gotta,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Jim, maybe you need to wait for 5A.
make sure that we pass the resolution reappointing you.
This 4A is reappointment of Jim Chada to the Lancaster County Veteran Service Committee for a 5-year term commencing July 1st, 2015 and ending June 30th, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we reappoint Jim Chada. Is there any question? Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Lancaster County Juvenile Services Comprehensive Plan. This is for July 1st, 2015 through June 30th, 2018. Sarah Hoyle, Human Services Director.
Thank you, Commissioners and Junior Commissioners. The Lancaster County Juvenile Justice Comprehensive Plan, as you know, is due every 3 years. And so it was up this year. We had a planning retreat in mid-January, and thank you for Commissioner Amundson for coming and making that part of your schedule. And we had, probably maybe 40 people there, a lot of community members, a lot of community stakeholders, a lot of juvenile justice stakeholders as well. And we sat in the room for 8 hours, and then we met again. And we've met several times since then and came up with different priorities for our community to address juvenile justice issues. And the priorities, after looking through data from vital signs, juvenile justice data, data from the criminal justice system, we came up with 5 priorities. And those priorities basically are focused around truancy, on preventing kids from coming into the juvenile justice system, on reducing the racial and ethnic disparity in our system. And 2, a team of us just got back from Georgetown, where we're actually working on an initiative for an arrest-based diversion program. It'll be one of the few in the country. And so people are really watching this and working with us. So we're excited about that. And then to ensure, another priority we had was ensuring service availability for all of our families. That included substance abuse services, especially mental health services, making sure that all of our families had the same access to those services. And then lastly, we wanted to look at restorative justice and incorporate the restorative justice principles into all of our practices. And as you are aware, restorative justice is bringing the community, the victim, and the offender together to try to repair the harm that was caused by any crime committed. So we're really looking at that approach and infusing that within our system. So today, the community plan is a requirement. Not only is it best practice, but it's also a requirement to get the community aid funding. And as you know, the community aid funding through the state was just increased, and it was increased by $1.4 million. So Lancaster County's share of that then is we get an additional $197,000, which brings our total then up to about $855,000. If you remember 3 years ago, that was $193,000. So we've really had to come together as a community to figure out how this money will best work in our community to serve our youth. So.
Yes.
You mentioned best practices. Can you talk a little bit on the data that you will gather on, I assume, an annual basis to evaluate the success in these 5 key areas?
Yes. So we primarily are working with the Juvenile Justice Institute through the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and they are on contract through the Crime Commission. They have recently evaluated our truancy diversion program. In our truancy diversion program, they found that while the kids were in the program, their truancy decreased by 80%, which is huge. And if you remember, the truancy diversion program is a collaboration between Lincoln Public Schools, the county attorney's office, and the judiciary, or juvenile court. And so what they're looking at is they're looking at what the recidivism rate of kids coming back in. Are they committing new law violations? Are they going to school? What does that look like? And then they're also looking at, are we following best practices? Are we conducting assessments on the onset? Are we developing plans that are individualized based on the needs of the kids? Are we following through with those plans? When we're saying that we are adopting a curriculum, are our staff trained to facilitate that curriculum? Are we following through with appointments? They come in and they measure all of that. And so that's something that we're going to be critiqued on when we use this money. We also have a contract with the Center for Children, Family, and the Law, and they're working with us. They actually went to Georgetown with us. And so they've been with us every step of the way as we're developing the arrest-based diversion program. So.
Bill?
I have read this report actually, and I've seen a lot of reports of this nature. I want to congratulate you and your group, because often what happens is you set goals and objectives, but when you get to the meat of the report, what are you going to do to achieve these? It gets a little thin. Yours does not. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you very much for reading it.
And Larry?
I didn't read it all, but I skimmed through it. And Sarah, I want to congratulate you on taking a fresh look at the services we're providing. Yes, we do have additional resources, but I think you're going to make sure that we have effective use of these resources and that we don't have duplication of activities. And really appreciate your fresh look at this, and know that we'll get the most bang for our buck as we look to see how we can do a better job of what we do.
Thank you. Okay, well, actually, I guess I'm just going to finish one thing up. You know, I've seen you conduct the meetings and everything like this. Your dedication, your compassion, and indeed the discipline that you bring to these meetings, I think, is very noteworthy. Thank you. Okay, let's go on to 4B.
This is back to new business, adoption of the Lancaster County Juvenile Services Comprehensive Plan for the period covering July 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2018.
I move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this adoption of the comprehensive plan. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Recommendations from the Juvenile Justice Prevention Fund Advisory Committee for the award of grants from the Juvenile Justice Prevention Fund totaling $400,000 for the 2015-2016 budget year.
Sarah, I think you've got good news for us there.
Big deal. This is county funds, and again, we appreciate all of the support that the county puts forth towards juvenile justice and juvenile issues. And this year was really a different year in looking at these grants. We had a different committee, a different kind of committee put together. On that committee that reviewed these, we had a juvenile court judge, we had a county attorney, we had a captain with Lincoln Police Department, a city attorney was on there, and the public defender's office, as well as the director of the detention center. And they were asked to be part of this committee because they know the services that we have in the community, and they also know where our gaps are in the community. And I tell you what, talk about asking tough questions. That panel came up with questions, and I've said on a lot of grant reviews, they came up with questions I would have never thought of. So we were excited when we came through, and they recommended, and I think everybody has the sheet in front of them. We have some new agencies at the table, which is always exciting. We have the new to this table is the Sudanese American community. So we are excited to have them be part of our juvenile justice programming. So.
And is Youth to Success, they're new to this particular pool of funding, or is this year 2 for them?
The Guidance to Success Youth Club, this is year 2.
Year 2, okay.
They run the Buffalo Soldiers basketball program, and then they also do after-school programming, life skills type of programming. Yep.
Okay. Well, those are some wonderful additions. Okay. Any questions? I think we need approval. Yeah. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve these recommendations from the Juvenile Justice Prevention Committee, Advisory Committee, I should say. Any further discussion?
Madam Chairwoman, I have one comment, and it goes back to when we were interviewing Sarah. One of the things that made her stand out, I think, among the other applicants was her focus on new populations, and I think that this is will be very beneficial to the community of Lincoln. So again, thanks, Sarah, for continuing to do what you promised you would do. Thanks.
I should start my morning off every morning by coming here.
Well, let's see. We have another meeting on Tuesday, as long as you bring money in.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Okay. Any further questions or discussions? Okay, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4D is an agreement with Holiday Inn, 141 North 9th Street in Lincoln for catering services during a Lincoln Police Department gang training to be held on June 24th, 25th, and 26th, 2015. Funding is from the Office of Violence Prevention Grant.
Move approval?
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Holiday Inn. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is an amusement license renewal application from Raymond United Methodist Church to hold an event on August 22nd, 2015 at 14750 North 3rd Street in Raymond.
I'd move approval, and I think we have a couple members that would like to maybe speak to this, as well as the county engineer.
Ken Schroeder, County Engineering. I believe on the agenda that address is the applicant's address. The event per the application was to be at 11505 North 14th Street, which is just south of Waverly Road on North 14th Street.
And it's where they usually have had it in the past.
Yeah, that's where it's been before.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference, a lot more traffic on 14th Street than
You bet.
the resident.
Mm-hmm. Okay, would you like to speak to that?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jan Hauser, and I am the landowner for this where the swap meet is, and I'm glad for the correction that you had. It is 11505 North 14th Street. This is the 6th year that we have had that swap meet, and I know one of the questions you're probably thinking about when I put on the application 400 to 450 people, they don't all come at once, trust me, and thank God they don't. But they start from early in the morning, and how we judge that, the amount of people that we have is because we give, they have to give $1 to get in or a can of food, and it goes to the food bank. So that's how we kind of tally that up, so it's kind of an estimate. Mm-hmm. We've never had any problems with 14th Street on doing any parking there. We know that's not allowable, and so we just don't have that problem. We have flag guys out there. I have a lit sign that's just one of those arrow signs that shows this is the driveway you come in. I own 40 acres there, so there's plenty of places to park that they don't have to park on 14th Street.
Well, you know, you answered all the right questions.
It's
year
been doing this
6.
for a while. And I will tell you this is our last year to do this. We've decided that we're going to do something else on my farm, so this will be the last year that we do that. It's kind of a bittersweet, but that's kind of the way we've planned that. So, do you have any other questions for us?
Okay, well, thank you. We do have a motion and a second, and so is there any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
F is a resolution in a matter of adopting the Lancaster County, Nebraska Title VI Plan for the Lancaster County Public Rural Transit Program.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution in the matter of adopting the Title VI plan. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is a recommendation from the purchasing department and the county engineer to award a contract for culvert pipe maintenance to H.R. Bookstrom Construction. The total amount of the contract is $596,965.
And Lancaster County Engineer. Today, this is our annual, we have 2 sets of culvert bids that we put out. One is the contractor culverts, and then we have the county culverts, which are put in by county forces. So this is the contractor culverts, and I guess I'm just here to answer any questions you have about it.
Any questions?
Appreciate the fact that you always show up.
Okay.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve this recommendation to purchase culverts. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4H is a grant contract with International Institute of Restorative Practices in the amount of $10,356 to provide funding for a professional development training titled Introduction to Restorative Practices and Using Circles Effectively. Term of the contract is March 10th, 2015 to June 30th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this grant contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. I is an agreement with the Administrative Office of the Nebraska Supreme Court for the administration of the Adult Drug Court for the District Court of Lancaster County. The Administrative Office of the courts will pay the county $246,839 for the services. Term of the agreement is July 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2016.
I would move approval of the agreement.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with, for the administration of the drug court. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4J is utility permit number 1297 with Windstream Nebraska, Inc. for the replacement of underground cable along South 112th Street, approximately midway between O Street and A Street. There is no cost to the county.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this utility permit. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K is an agreement with the University of Nebraska Lincoln Center on Children, Families, and the Law for the Service Point Management Information System, which allows participating and community service agencies to share client information. Term of the agreement is 12 months from the date of signature by both parties. The cost to the county is $1,250, and is included in joint budget committee's budget.
For those of you unfamiliar with Service Point, it is a credit card, debit card shaped card that our clients are able to scan at every point where we provide service, so we have a good model for tracking utilization and where increasing needs are. So I think it's a really valuable thing for the county to fund to help track trends.
Based on Commissioner Short's explanation, I would move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with UNL. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. L is an agreement with the Malcolm School District number 148 for the provision of a school resource officer by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. The school agrees to pay the county $14,730.48 for the first year of the contract, with a 2.5% increase each contract year thereafter. Term of the agreement is August 1st, 2015 to July 31st, 2016, with optional one-year renewals.
Good morning. Lancaster County Sheriff Terry Wagner. So everybody knows what's going on, we've had agreements with the 4 high schools in the county for a number of years now. The deputies aren't there full-time, but we've got a couple different school resource officers that split their time between the schools. We worked out an agreement with the schools as far as the amount of time they spend there, the fact that they're not there during the summertime and during Christmas and those kinds of breaks. So that fee that you see there is extrapolated out from the time that they're actually there and while they're being split between 2 different schools. So that's kind of how it works out, and it's been very effective. It's Raymond and certainly Norris is a 2,200 student campus. It's a large city when they're in session. So these are really good tools and a very worthwhile effort.
Yes, Larry.
I'd just like to state that Sheriff Wagner, we're very appreciative that you're willing to do this with the schools in cooperation with them. It's a learning experience, and it also, the officers that you send out there do a lot of interaction with these students. They learn that they're not just a law enforcement officer, but a human being and a friend and a person to be respected as well too. So thank you for your department and your office encouraging this type of program.
Some teaching as well, some personal safety and some of those kinds of things, drug awareness, education.
And I know the times that they bought an accident vehicle out there on a trailer once in a while, that sure gets the kids' attention too. So with that, I'd move approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve this. Bill, you had a comment.
I do. I have a question. Would you explain why, I believe it is the Norris contract or Waverly contract is more costly than the others?
It has to do with the amount of time that the deputies spend there. And we've got that all kind of calculated out and how much time they spend with one school versus another. So the deputy's not at each of those schools full-time every day, all day, but it's balanced out.
Okay.
I'd prefer to explain that to you in a less public setting, if just from a security perspective.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Malcolm School District. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4M is an agreement with Norris School District 160 for the provision of a school resource officer by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. The school agrees to pay the county $14,730.48 for the first year of the contract, with a 2.5% increase each contract year thereafter. Term of the agreement is August 1st, 2015 to July 31st, 2016, with optional one-year renewals.
I would move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Norris School District 160. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. N is an agreement with the Raymond Central Public School District, number 161, for the provision of a school resource officer by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. The school agrees to pay the county $11,784.36 for the first year of the contract, with a 2.5% increase each contract year thereafter. Term of the agreement is August 1st, 2015 to July 31st, 2016, with optional one-year renewals.
Approval?
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with the Raymond Central Public School. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson? Motion carries 5-0. O is an agreement with Waverly School District, number 145, for the provision of a school resource officer by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. The school agrees to pay the county $17,676.60 for the first year of the contract, with a 2.5% increase each contract year thereafter. Term of the agreement is August 1st, 2015 to July 31st, 2016, with optional one-year renewals.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with the Waverly School District 145. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudgens?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. P is a contract with Beatrice Lawn Care, Inc. for the annual requirements of weed abatement mowing. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution.
Move approval.
Second?
Moved and seconded that we approve the contract with Beatrice Lawn Care, Inc. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Q is a contract with Gary's Lawn and Landscape for the annual requirements of weed abatement mowing. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the contract with Gary's Lawn and Landscape. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins? Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. R is a contract with Lee's Lawn Maintenance for the annual requirements of weed abatement mowing. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the contract with Lee's Lawn Maintenance. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. With Mr. Yards and More, LLC, for the annual requirements of weed abatement mowing. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this contract with Mr. Yards and More. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. T is an amendment to County Contract C-14-359 with Imagescapes, Inc. for the annual requirements of sod and sod replacement and installation. The amendment renews the agreement for an additional 1-year term from July 15, 2015 to July 14, 2016.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this amendment to the county contract with Imagescapes, Inc. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. U is an amendment to county contract to a contract between Lenoa Nurseries, the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission for miscellaneous landscape installation and maintenance service. The amendment renews the agreement for an additional 1-year term from May 1st, 2015 to April 30th, 2016.
Move approval of the contract with Lanahaw Nurseries.
Lanahaw.
Lanahaw.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this amendment to the contract with Lanahaw Nurseries and the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. V is a request for an exceptional circumstances award under Personnel Rule 17.9, bracket B, for Manette Ganuki, Administrative Secretary to the County Board, in the amount of $500.
Getting the team assembled here.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. My name is Kerry Egan. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for you guys. Sarah and I came up with the idea for this award because recently Jenny, who's Sarah's full-time staff person over there, had maternity leave, has gone for 12 weeks, excuse me. We were looking at hiring a temporary employee to fill in for that time. Minette stepped up and said, you know, I can probably handle that without you having to hire another person. I realized this was a big job, but we said, okay, well, we'll give it a try. And she was able to do exactly that, plus keep up with her own work. This saved the county thousands of dollars. You know, I haven't calculated it out, but if we'd hired a full-time person through a temp agency, we're talking probably $20 to $30 an hour for 12 weeks. Minette was able to do that. She probably put in, a good 90 hours over there in addition to completing all of her own responsibilities. And I think I'll let Sarah go on from there. But based on those circumstances, I think that was exceptional. It was above and beyond the call of duty and not contained in the four corners of her job description. And I think we're very thankful for that. And so we've made the recommendation. Sarah, do you have anything to add? And you need to get publicly embarrassed when you go to do a good deed, so we're going to lay it on.
Okay. I could not have done this without Minette. She stepped in. We hired 3 people, interviewed and hired 3 people. She figured out the PA system, how to go about doing that. She helped navigate through the county personnel rules. She even figured out some, I'm gonna try not to cry. She even figured out some city rules for me too, who to contact for what. I knew she was in a hurry, but not once did she tell me, no, I don't have time to do that. I can't do that for you. She's answered questions that I never thought would ever get posed before us, to figuring out who should be on what listserv, reorganizing things in the office. She came over right when, pretty much 2 weeks after I was appointed a director, and helped me kind of navigate through the system. So Minette, it's something that a temporary person could not have come in and done. She went.
Not to mention the JBC.
Yeah, I was going to say JBC applications went right through that time period.
Yes, JBC Crime Commission applications, the comprehensive plan. It just all kind of happened at one time, and Minette couldn't have done it without you. So, thank you.
Based upon hearing that, I will move approval of the recommendation for the Exceptional Circumstances Award.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this request for the Exceptional Circumstances Award. Is there any discussion?
It seems like it's rather small, given what you did.
I think that I would concur with that. It does seem rather, you've just done a tremendous amount of work. And
the award is a maximum. That's all the rules allow us. We could do a step increase if she was below her maximum step, but the $500 is, those are the rules.
We always follow the rules, Gary.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this request. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 to 0.
Would like to say something.
Well, I just thank you very much for the acknowledgement, and also just thanking Sarah and Carrie and all of you for the opportunity for me to learn a lot about what Sarah's department does, learn the folks over there. I have a much, much better understanding what Human Services does, and I have nothing but respect for Sarah and what she's taken on. She does a tremendous job, and I think you all will be pleased with how she handles things over there. And thank Carrie and my office and Gwen and all of you for having some patience sometimes when things got a little crazy. But we managed to do it, and it was a great opportunity. So thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Thu to the Lancaster County Personnel Policy Board for a term commencing June 30th, 2015 and ending June 30th, 2020, replacing Randy Guyette.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the appointment of Mike Thew. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 to 0.
Does Doug want to tell us why this is such a good decision?
5 are consent items. setting of a public hearing on Tuesday, June 30th, 2015 at 10:30 a.m. in room 12 of the County City Building regarding amusement license application for Matt Kleinschmidt on behalf of the Home Builders Association of Lincoln to hold a grill out Lincoln Family Fest on August 7th and 8th, 2015 at 11401 Van Dorn, Walton, Nebraska. Receive and place on file the County Sheriff's Report for May 2015.
I move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the consent items. Please call the roll.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Yes.
Shore.
Yes.
Avery.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Trust me on this, kids. You're the guy. I'm the guy you've been looking for since about 10:30 because this shebang's about over. Gary Aldridge, Lincoln, Nebraska. Using circles effectively. That is the $5,178 question or statement. Someone's tax dollars at work. Ain't democracy beautiful? People are grumpy about taxes. The use of some public resources is reasonable and necessary for my own safety's sake. The use of some public resources is questionable. I would appreciate the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners not spending money you do not have. I would appreciate the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners not spending money I do not have. The previous is a consistent and constant and tedious message I bring to public comment, now for almost a year, for those who listen. Much like baseball, if public comment was easy, well, anyone could do it. Chapter 13, Nebraska Revised Statutes, establishes certain practices, procedures, and protocols with respect to the budget of a political subdivision taxing authority. Quote, the purpose of the Nebraska Budget Act is to require governing bodies make available information of such bodies so intelligent and informed support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, and observations can be made by those affected, end quote. Those affected is not otherwise defined, and so to put a face on that phrase, I will say citizens, taxpayers, owners. The use of, quote, require suggests mandatory, not discretionary. The Budget Act does not proscribe or prescribe what support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, and observations a citizen, taxpayer, owner can offer. 13-5011 is quid pro quo. Quid, provide pertinent information and allow citizens, taxpayers, owners to help formulate budget policy, i.e. tax and spend. The pro quo, in return, the budget process is legal, lawful, and legitimate. In theory, citizens, taxpayers, owners are a co-conspirator and or partner. In fact, the Budget Act is nonsense. The Budget Act would have citizens, taxpayers, owners focus on Oz and disregard that man behind the curtain. I suspect most or all budget matters for this board have been or will be finalized before public comments by citizens, taxpayers, owners is allowed or accepted. The real work, the heavy lifting, is done by hired and or elected personnel at staff meetings or at a meeting or meetings of some quasi-government association. A gathering where a small number of people discuss and decide what is best for, well, it seems, for everyone else. A gathering that is an unrepresentative snapshot of citizens, taxpayers, owners, where, quote, public comments are not allowed. You can ignore or disregard what I say. Most do most of the time. I think you skate dangerously close to there be sea monsters here. I have neither hubris or special power to see what others cannot. I like to think I am a person of reasonable intelligence. My approach usually is how does a person of reasonable intelligence decode everyday events and occurrences. Government is legitimate only with citizen participation.
True.
So, that's absolutely right. Well, thank you so much.
Next is number 7, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, June 25th, 2015 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, June 30th, 2015 at 10:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesday and Saturday on 5 City TV, Cable Channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV, Video on Demand, or 5 City TV on YouTube.
I move adjournment.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn. Please call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Hudkins? Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners is adjourned. Let's move on now to the Board of Equalization.
Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the county assessor's office. Agenda item 1 are minutes, approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Second that we approve the minutes of the BOE meeting on Tuesday, last Tuesday. Any additions or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve the additions and deductions. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson? Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a public hearing for motor vehicle tax exemption applications. This is for Christian Retirement Homes, Inc., doing business as Eastmont Towers, Apona Horse Rescue, First Slavic Baptist Church, and St. John's Church.
We'll open the public hearing for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Is there anyone here speaking in support, in opposition to, or in neutral position? And seeing none, let's move on then. I will close the public hearing.
I would move approval of the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved to second. Did we want to, is there anyone for public comment? Seeing none. Okay, we have a motion to adjourn and a second. Please call the roll.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.